So here's part 2, vocabulary 2, las páginas 316, 317. And the way we're going to practice this is I'm going to ask you to turn off, or just pause me, not turn off, and then looking at the different things, figure out what's necessary in an office, what really isn't necessary, what's important to have, and what the secretary has to do. So come up with at least about 3 or 4 on each of those, and then turn me back on or unpause me, and then I'll give you a few. Okay, so hopefully you're back, and I'll give you a few things here. En una oficina es necesario tener una fotocopiadora, es necesario tener una secretaria, es necesario tener una papelera, es necesario tener una secretaria. En realidad no es necesario tener un fichero porque puedes tener todo electrónicamente. No es necesario tener un fax porque se puede mandar copias por computadora. En una oficina es necesario tener una sala de conferencias, especialmente en una escuela. Una secretaria tiene que contestar el teléfono, tiene que mandar correo electrónico, tiene que imprimir cosas, tiene que responder a las necesidades del jefe. So those are some possibilities. You please continue to practice those because obviously you need to know all of those words. Now let's go to the next page, la próxima página, por favor, 11-14. Para solicitar un puesto, to go out and ask for a job. And so you've got 4 different categories. And so what I'd like for you to do is, again, pause me, process those a little bit, make sure that you understand them, and try to put together a short conversation about the steps that you would take in order to go out and find a job. And once you've had an opportunity to do that, then restart me. After you've paused me, restart me, and then I will give you what I'd probably do if I were going out looking for jobs. So pause me at this time. Okay, so hopefully you're back. Primero, yo leería el periódico o usaría el internet para buscar un puesto. Después de ver el puesto, yo preparo mi currículum. Yo iría a la oficina que tiene el puesto. Yo pediría una entrevista. Notice I'm using the conditional I would ask for. Pediría una entrevista. Yo hablaría con unos empleados de la empresa para ver qué es importante en la empresa. Antes de la entrevista yo compraría un traje nuevo. Me levantaría temprano el día de la entrevista. Me presentaría en la oficina temprano o por lo menos puntualmente. Hablaría sobre las condiciones del trabajo. Si me gusta, aceptaría la oferta. Y después conocería a otros empleados. So hopefully yours sounded the same. Maybe you use the conditional. Maybe you just use the simple present tense. Either one is fine as long as you know the vocabulary. Okay, so probably the biggest part of this chapter has to do with the subjunctive mood. And this is a totally different mood in Spanish. So we've been up to the indicative at this point. So we've had present, past, 2 forms of the past tense, present perfect, conditional. We've had future tense. All of those have been in the indicative. We rarely use the subjunctive mood in English, and usually it becomes after an if statement. Let me give you an example. If I'm going to conjugate the verb to be in the past tense in English, I say, I was, you were, he was, we were, you all were, they were. Notice I said I was. What happens to was when I put if in front of it? It becomes were. If I were. That's the use for it in English. In Spanish, it's a little bit different, and it causes the verb after that to be conjugated differently. Still in the present tense, it's just the present tense of the subjunctive mood. So look with me on page 320. Volition or influence is the first case in which you use the subjunctive mood. Volition meaning I have my will. I'm asking you to do something, or I'm influencing you to do something. Yo quiero que tú vayas a la reunión. I want you to go to the meeting. Okay? Emotion is the next one. Siento que el empleado no reciba un aumento. I'm sorry the employee does not receive a raise. So that's my emotion. And so the next verb is in the subjunctive mood after that. And notice that you always have to have a change of subjects, except for one situation that I want to tell you. So I'm better say almost always. Almost always have to have a change of subject. So I'm sorry, I'm the first one. The employee doesn't receive. That's the next one. I want you to go. Next one. So notice the doubt. Ella duda que Ramón termina el proyecto hoy. She doubts that Ramon will finish the project today. Most of the time, I would say 99%, probably not 99, 95% of the time, it's going to be volition or influence when this is used. It will occasionally be negation or denial. Okay? No es cierto que Pedro sepa usar el fax. It's not true that Pedro knows how to use the fax. Notice that the indicative is sabe. Because it is negation or denial, it becomes the subjunctive. Sepa. Now, if I were going to say, es cierto que Pedro sabe, by the simple removal of the no, which takes away the negation or denial, then it goes back to the indicative. All right. So looking on down, you'll learn more about the subjunctive mood, how Spanish speakers use it. The most common use is for the influence. This is what I told you. Wanting, hoping, demanding, preferring, recommending, prohibiting, and I'll give you some, or the book will actually give you some of those words on the next page. Notice this one. Carlos quiere que José trabaje más. First clause, Carlos, causes the subjunctive in the second one, que José trabaje más. That is the dependent clause. Okay? And that is a statement of causing or volition. Two different people. Okay, so the verb forms, if you'll think back to when we did command forms, this will help you out a little bit because the E's go to A and the A's go to E. So the verb lavar, yo me lave, tú te laves, él se lave, nos lavemos. The verb hacer, you take it back to the first person, plural, yo hago. And then because it's an ER verb, it goes to A. Haga, hagas, haga, hagamos, hagáis, hagan. The verb escribir goes to A, escriba, escribas, etc. Stem change work exactly the way that they have in the past. C-A-R, G-A-R, and Z-A-R. Saque, saques, saque, etc. And you can look at those and notice again that the AR verbs go to E. The ER verbs will go to A. ¿Quieres que yo saque los documentos? Do you want me to take out the documents? And if I'm not mistaken, this exact same question is on the final exam. Do you want me to take out? The verb is sacar, S-A-C-A-R, but it becomes saque. To the next page. Some more examples. The good thing is, and I will just tell you in one fell swoop, if you look at stem change verbs, E to IE such as pensar, E to UE such as poder, IE with the divertirse, UE with the dormir, E to I with the pedir, and E to I with the servir. It's exactly the same way with the indicative. So in other words, if you learn these stem changes in the indicative, you know how the stem changes in the subjunctive, except for the ending is now going to go to the opposite letter. So without going through looking at all of those, just know that the stem doesn't change. But we will look at the example. Look at the very last example. Deseo que sirvamos a los clientes con respeto. I want us to serve clients with respect. So the verb is servir. So the E goes to I, and then it is an IR verb, which becomes sirvamos. Two subjects. I want us to serve. ¿Quieres que yo pida? Do you want me to request? Two subjects. Do you want me to request? Two subjects. So the second one is pida because it is volition. Very similar to the irregular verbs in the command forms. Dar, estar, ir, saber, and ser. You have exactly the same thing here. And then as promised, a little bit further down the bottom, toward the bottom of the page on 323, present subjunctive with the verbs of volition. Here's some words so that you know that the volition is happening. Desear, insistir, mandar, pedir, pedir, permitir, preferir, prohibir, querer, recomendar. When you have one of those, alert, alert, alert. The subjunctive is likely about to come, except when the subject doesn't change to a different person. So look at the examples. Oh, and also you're going to have the que in there. No change of subject. José prefiere trabajar ahora. No change of subject. Carlos prefiere que José trabaje ahora. Change of subject. So the second one then goes into the subjunctive. Okay, so you can kind of see how that one works. And so now let's look over on the next page and we'll try some of these. Okay, 11:17. I'm going to tell you what to say here, and then you're going to choose the right verb and say it. So, my boss wants me to give monthly reports. De. My boss wants me to arrive on time at the office. Llegue. The verb is llegar, so it goes to an E. My boss wants me to answer emails immediately. Conteste. Okay, exactly. So you got the idea now. And you kind of should be starting to get a feeling of volition. He wants me to do something. He prefers that I do something. My jefe, my boss, prefers that we have short meetings. Tengamos. He prefers that we dress professionally. Nos vistamos. He prefers that we do not talk about our projects outside of the office. No hablemos. He prefers that we communicate a lot among ourselves. Nos comuniquemos. Notice the nos vistamos, nos comuniquemos, reflexive verbs. And then finally, my boss recommends that Sophia, and I'm going to go to number 9 on this one first because I got these backwards in the PowerPoint, that Sophia prints all the documents before meetings. Imprima. My boss recommends that she make photocopies. And in Spanish you say take out photocopies. Saque. And number 10, my boss prefers that Sophia does not work on the weekends. No trabaja. And of course, notice all of those were volition. All right, so if you look at the next page, please. Okay, 11-19, mi trabajo en la universidad. So I'm going to tell you what I want you to say, and then you're going to say it. You're going to pause me after each time. So in the first one, the counselor recommends that the students not talk by phone with their friends during class. El consejero recomienda que los estudiantes no hablen por teléfono con sus amigos durante las clases. The second one, I want to learn from my experiences. Try it. Yo quiero aprender de mis experiencias. Did you notice there's no change of subject? Therefore, no subjunctive. Number 3, my boss asked that I not use the photocopier for personal matters. Try it. Mi jefe pide que yo no use la fotocopia para asuntos personales. Next one. Our professors expect our managers to give us a good salary. Try it. Nuestros profesores esperan que nuestros gerentes nos den un sueldo bueno. And the next one. We prefer not to work on Saturdays. Try it. Nosotros preferimos no trabajar los sábados. Did you notice there's no change of subject there? So there is no subjunctive. I wish to find a job, a full-time job. Yo deseo encontrar un trabajo de tiempo completo. All right, so we're going to try one more of these. We're going to try 2 more. So we're going to go to 11:20. Similar thing. And I'm going to tell you what to say here. Parents recommended that children study a lot. Try it. Los padres recomiendan que sus hijos estudien mucho. All the professors hope that I will be responsible. Try it. Todos los profesores esperan que yo sea responsable. Some professors insist that my classmates and I attend class. Imagine that. Try it. Algunos profesores insisten que mis compañeros y yo asistamos a clase. My professor prefers that my friends and I do the homework. Mi profesor prefiere que mis amigos y yo hagamos la tarea. My best friend wants the students to maintain contact. And I will point that one out, that one is reflexive verb. Mi mejor amigo quiere que los estudiantes se mantengan en contacto. And the final one that we're going to do with these, and again, before we get to that one, if after this one you still have doubts, please go in, do some of the extra practice so that you will understand it before you get to the test. Oops, sorry about that. So let's look at the first one. Can you begin immediately, or is it necessary that you leave another job? And I want you to say, it is necessary that I leave another job. Try it. Es necesario que yo deje otro puesto. So the words es necesario, that's a little bit different than we've done before, but just trust me on this one. When you have es necesario, it is necessary, which is a subject within itself, que yo deje, that I leave, then you have a situation for subjunctive. So the next one, necesitas entrenamiento formal. Dudo que aprendes en el trabajo. Do you need formal training? I doubt that you learn on the job. And I want you to say, I need training. Try it. Sí, necesito entrenamiento. And number 3, ¿quieres que tu supervisor hable contigo frecuentemente o prefieres comunicarte por correo electrónico? Do you want your supervisor to talk with you frequently? Do you prefer to communicate by email? Say, I want my supervisor to talk with me frequently. Try it. Quiero que mi supervisor hable conmigo frecuentemente. And number 4, ¿deseas que el puesto incluya seguro médico o un plan de retiro? No es posible incluir los dos. Do you want the job to have medical insurance or a retirement plan? It's not possible to include both. I want you to say, I want the job to include medical insurance. Deseo que el puesto incluya seguro médico. Me alegro de que te guste trabajar solo, pero también quiero que participes en proyectos con otros empleados. I'm happy that you like to work alone, but I also want you to participate in projects with other employees. And so I want you to say, I can participate in projects with other employees. Puedo participar en proyectos con otros empleados. Notice no change of subjects. With other employees is a prepositional phrase. That's not a subject in this one. I can participate. And then finally, es probable que aceptes el puesto si te lo ofrezco. Is it probable that you will accept the job if I offer it to you? Say yes, it is probable that I will accept, and use the subjunctive. Sí, es probable que acepte el puesto. Okay, so this is going to end it for us. Again, if you have questions, call me. I know this is kind of fast, but I'm hoping that when you dig in to both the book, look at the review activities, the extra practice, and call me or email me if you need me, that you will get a sufficient grasp to do well on the test, and then obviously do well on the final. So let me know if I can help.